Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to today's first gameplay stream. Welcome to the premiere of my Assassin's Creed Syndicate coverage and playthrough. I am indeed Darkside Phil. Today is October 22nd, October 23rd, 2015. I was wrong. I was off by a day there. It is a Friday, and yes, there is a worldwide release for this game today. Excuse me. Which is becoming more and more common, it seems, that games are having this worldwide Friday release. I've always found it bizarre that in the United States, games come out on Tuesdays, typically, but then for Europe and a lot of other countries, they come out on a Friday. It's a little confusing for me. But it is what it is. I would rather have everyone have the game on the same day rather than have people sitting around waiting for it later on in the week. You know what I mean? I don't think it ever made real sense. It has to do something with the economies of certain countries versus others and stuff like that. You know? So, welcome. And I'm trying in my head, for the life of me, I cannot figure out what number. I guess this technically isn't a numbered installment to Assassin's Creed. Although I don't understand why, because if you remember 2 years ago we had Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Then last year we had Assassin's Creed Unity, which wasn't a numbered entry. And now I guess we have Syndicate, which also isn't a numbered entry. So I guess if you were actually numbering them, this would be 6. Although no, because didn't you have three games, a trilogy of games that were part 2? I have absolutely no idea what you're supposed to call this game, besides just Syndicate. You know, it's weird that all of a sudden they stopped the numbering them. I almost feel that they stopped numbering Assassin's Creed because they thought that if they kept numbering them, that people would say, oh man, this is just a series that every year there's a new one. Which is true. In fact, last year we had 2 of them. Yeah, last year we had Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Rogue. And despite the few times the past year when I thought I was going to get a chance to play Assassin's Creed Rogue, I never played it. I just never had a chance. And that's a shame, because I actually heard that it was pretty decent, that it was pretty much kind of very similar to Assassin's Creed 4, which I very much liked. That was the one Black Flag, which had pirates, Edward Kenway. And I just never had a chance to play Rogue. And so, unfortunately, it looks to me like I'm probably never going to be playing the game, which is a shame. At this point, you're already a full iteration later. It probably won't make any sense to play it. Yeah, here we are. At least we could say there's only one new game this year. You know what I mean? There's only one new Assassin's Creed game. I think they found out after last year that you cannot have 2 Assassin's Creed games released at the same time. Especially when you have one that is basically a semi-sequel, kind of, to Assassin's Creed 4, and another one that is a piece of shit. And not to say, I want to say this, not to say that Assassin's Creed Unity is a bad game in itself. In fact, I even said during my gameplay and playthrough of Assassin's Creed Unity last year, I actually felt there were many gameplay improvements, right? The motion, the platforming, the parkour, combat. There was a lot of actual improvements in Assassin's Creed Unity that I really liked. The problem was the game ran like shit. It was just a terrible, terrible graphical presentation, choppy frame rate. I still remember the biggest disappointment of the game. I remember there was a scene where you're chasing a hot air balloon that's on the loose throughout the city in Unity, and you're jumping from rooftop to rooftop chasing this hot air balloon, and you were like, man, this would look amazing if the frame rate were above 15 frames per second right now. If this were at least 30 frames per second, this would be like an epic, cinematic sequence here where you're jumping from rooftop chasing it, and you're looking at the game and you just gotta laugh and say, wow, it's so bad that they released the game as badly as they did in this condition with the graphics as they are. This frame rate is unacceptable. And of course, there were other things, problems with the game too. But ultimately, Unity was not well received. Unity was pretty much critically panned, and people said, this game should not have been released in this condition. It's a joke. Not to say that the game is bad. It's just a joke of a graphical presentation. And, so bad that Ubisoft publicly apologized for it. And actually said, we're so sorry that this game is so bad, which is hilarious in my opinion. Hopefully they learn their lesson. I really hope they learned their lesson. It's funny, because if you look at the history of Assassin's Creed and the history of me covering these games, right? I actually started with Assassin's Creed 2, which a lot of people say that was kind of the best game in the series. It took all the gameplay elements from 1 and added in an awesome story, a great character of Ezio, and all the background stuff. And of course, me, I was doing funny commentary and everything over the game. That one was pretty good. And then you had Brotherhood, which I also liked. Although there was some kind of weird side missions, you know, sending out your assassins and training them and stuff like that, that really didn't seem too important to the game. Then you had Revelations, which tied Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 together. And it was pretty good, but in my opinion, that series had basically been drawn out way too long. Assassin's Creed 3, which everyone knows my opinion on that, I hated the game. I thought Assassin's Creed 3 by far is the worst in the entire series, because that was one where the graphics actually worked, but the game was full of bugs. The game had a boring-ass protagonist, a bad story in my opinion, and just was really shit. And after that, they kind of went back to the drawing board with Assassin's Creed 4, which I thought was exceptional. I actually really, really liked 4, but it didn't seem like it got as much recognition as I felt it deserved, because I think so many people were turned off by how bad 3 was, that, you know, 4, people were like, that was the first of the series that people said, maybe I'm just not going to play Assassin's Creed anymore, since they're making one a year, you know, I'll just skip it. And then, of course, last year, we had, Unity, and we all know how that went. Now, some people have said that Rogue, which I didn't play, is pretty good. If it is like 4, I would probably agree with you, because I really did enjoy 4. It's a shame that I didn't get a chance to play Rogue, but it is what it is, right? There's so many games that come out, and I only have so much time to do them in. And, you know, I cover what I can in the time that I have. So, we're about to start Syndicate. I'm curious to see. Oh, by the way, this game had an unprecedented amount of codes. No lie, there's a code right here. This one was inside. This one is for the Dreadful Crimes, exclusive 10 missions to the PlayStation version of the game. So apparently buying this on PS4 gives you 10 exclusive missions called the Dreadful Crimes. No idea what that is. And I had another code here, Darwin and Dickens, conspiracy mission. So I'm assuming Charles Dickens and Charles Darwin, so the two Charles. I don't know if that was for buying a certain version of the game or not. That was inside my box, so I put that into it. There was a pre-order code for GameStop to get an experience point boost. I don't know what the hell that is, because last time I checked, there's not experience points. You know, I don't know. What are the experience points for? Doesn't seem to make sense. So that's kind of confusing, right? And then there was another one, another code in the box, another fucking code. And I didn't even put this one in, because this code said you had to go to some website and put the code into, then get another code to put into your PS4 to get a outfit. And I guess what they said was it is a Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag outfit that you can, I guess, equip in this game. But being that, you know, this is Syndicate, as much as I like Black Flag, I don't really want to wear an Edward Kenway outfit in Syndicate. I'd rather see, you know, since this is set in London, you know, I'd like to see, you know, what they have there. I think this is London during the Industrial Revolution, right? I think so. So, you know, I don't really want to be wearing an Edward Kenway pirate outfit during that era of time. Maybe near the end of the playthrough, if I get bored of what I'm wearing, maybe then I'll enter it. But I don't think that there's any reason to jump the gun with that one now. I still have the code, so if I want to enter it later, I can do it. So, a ridiculous amount of codes. So, just so everyone knows, I want to make this abundantly clear. So, if you're joining the stream now and you're wondering, gee, what, you know, it's great Phil's doing this now, what's going on? This whole weekend is basically going to be Assassin's Creed, okay? Today we're playing it right now for around 3 hours, and also later tonight on my second stream, yes, I will be playing this for another 2 hours, alright? Saturday, I will be doing this for around 3 hours, my one gameplay stream for the day. Sunday, I will probably be doing this all day, you know, another 3-hour stream, okay? Now, Monday, here's the deal with Monday, just so everyone understands, because this is confusing, I know. My original plan was that this weekend I was going to mix it up and balance the Street Fighter V beta with Assassin's Creed Syndicate. But I couldn't play it all day yesterday because they decided to do 12 hours of maintenance, which was incredibly stupid. I only got to play it for about an hour and a half yesterday. Now, I don't know if it's going to work again. In fact, this is what's funny. They relaunched the Street Fighter V beta this morning, and guess what happened? It stopped working again. It stopped matchmaking. I know because I follow them on Twitter, and it said, sorry if you're trying to play the beta and you can't get any matches. We're trying to fix it again. So basically, they took it down for 12 hours of maintenance, brought it back up, and it doesn't work again. So they fucked it up. So the bottom line is, I don't know if the Street Fighter V beta is going to come back and work at all. Okay? Now, if I do play it again, it's going to be on Monday. I would like to play it Monday on my first gameplay stream, because at that point, both Rashid and Karen, the two characters who are being released supposedly over the course of this weekend, should be live by then. And what I would like to do is maybe do a stream where I try both of those characters and then just mess around as much as I can for 3 hours online, if it works. So if Street Fighter V works on Monday, that will be one major stream on Monday with the new characters and online play, and then I will do Assassin's Creed Syndicate on second stream. If for whatever reason it doesn't work at all, I'm just going to be playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate today, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Alright? Boom, 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 boom. And I think that it'll make sense, because, as you know, next week we've got Halo 5 and WWE 2K16. Both of those games have a significant amount of content. Both of them have a campaign to play. Both of them have multiplayer content. WWE has a career mode, and also has, you know, better created wrestlers and simulations supposedly this year. So there's a lot going on in the games that are coming out next week. And so what's going to end up happening, more than likely, is I'm going to be balancing a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff in the next week to 2 weeks. And because of that, I don't have a problem playing Assassin's Creed all weekend. You know, I think that it might make a lot of sense for me to just play this today, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, boom, 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 get a ton of gameplay into it, so I'm a big chunk into it come next week, when it'll go on hold for a few days while I play the new games, and then maybe I'll bring it back later on in the week as, you know, balancing out the week. So I think that's the approach I'm going to take. Okay? I hope that you like it, because I don't know, I haven't played it yet. I could love it or hate it. That's kind of my relationship with Assassin's Creed. It's love or hate. Either the game's good and I love it, or the game's terrible and I hate it. It's one or the other. Last year I actually felt disappointed, and the reason I was disappointed was the game. I could tell the game, Unity, would have been great if the graphical engine worked, and it didn't. It just didn't. So hopefully what they're trying to do this year with Syndicate works, and the game ends up being pretty good. Alright, so we're gonna get started with our stream here. Like I said, it'll be 2.5 to 3 hours of gameplay, and it should be pretty fun. I hope that you enjoy it. Again, if you want to join in all weekend, I'll be playing this. Anytime you jump on my stream, I'll be playing this weekend. Okay, and yes, the videos will be recorded. Yes, they'll be uploaded to DSPGaming immediately following the stream, as usual. Two quick things. My two quick plugs for the stream. First of all, Leanna's business, The Black Currant, is a handmade glycerin soap and wax tart melt business. Leanna is my girlfriend, if you don't know that. And it's been pretty successful. She's had 100 orders, actually over 100 orders now this year. And she's actually throwing a special promotion because of her, you know, celebrating that she's hit 100 orders. If you order anything from her business, you use the code CELEBRATE100, you get 10% off. You can check out her business at etsy.com/shop/theblackcurrant. Right now she has a fall line of soaps and scents, including things that have apple and like pine, and there's male-oriented scents and kind of more generic scents there that are mixed in. And let me tell you, I love it. I love her stuff. I only wash with her soap. I actually used an autumn-smelling soap last night when I took a shower. And, you know, this is better than store-bought stuff. It smells great. It's better for your body. It's not a detergent bar. It's actually real soap. In addition, these Wax Tarts melts that she makes are a great alternative if you want to have your house smell good. And you don't want to have, like, one of those burning open candles or open flame. Maybe you have a pet or, you know, wood, drapes. You're afraid that something might catch on fire. Wax Tart melts are a cool alternative to that. So you might want to check that out. Again, Etsy.com/shop/theblackcurrent. Use code CELEBRATE100 to save 10% on any order from now till the end of the year. And finally, last but not least, everyone, I just want to let everyone know about the voting for the Halloween special, which is going to take place on Halloween, a little over a week here, right? But we've got 8 days left in the month of October. So on Halloween Day, I'll be doing a horror game marathon. Right now, by one vote, it is the new Fatal Frame game, Maiden of the Black Water, is leading by one freaking vote. So if that wins, I'm thinking I may do a marathon of just that game next week. Because I saw the voting could go one of two ways. I thought it would either be for a major game, or maybe a bunch of smaller indie games that I would play a bunch of on stream. There are indie games in the voting, but they did not win at all. Like, they are very low voted. It actually is 3 bigger games. The new Fatal Frame is in the lead. Saw 2, I believe, is second, or it could be tied, but I think it's second place. And that's the sequel to the Saw game I played in 2011. And then behind by like one other vote is Manhunt. And I was thinking about this, and I'm like, those are all games that could lend themselves to a good day-long marathon. If I only play an hour or so of each game, you're barely going to get into it, and it would probably be kind of shitty. So depending on what game wins will determine what we're going to do. Hopefully we get a clear winner by the end of the week. But right now it looks like Fatal Frame's in the slight lead, if not tied with Saw 2, okay? So we'll see what happens. I'm excited either way. I'll be dressed up. I'll be wearing a Halloween costume, and I'll be doing face cam the whole time during that marathon. I hope you'll join me here on Halloween for that. That's going to be a fun event. All right. And speaking of the end of the month, yes, there are only 8 days left to pledge to my Patreon for the month of October. Check it out at patreon.com/darksidephil. If we hit our goal for the month for funding, which is $1,250, I'll be doing a rockathon. A day-long Rock Band 4 marathon where I've never done a music game before, but I'll be doing guitar and vocals and all kinds of fun stuff. People seem pretty excited to see me play that game. Unfortunately, I cannot do it in a traditional playthrough format because of YouTube copyright concerns, but if I just do it as a marathon day and one video, I shouldn't have a problem. Of course, the issue is, since I'm only doing one video all day, I need to obviously make it viable for the business, which is why we're doing this as a Patreon goal, okay? So if we hit the goal, I'll be doing that in either sometime late November, early December. Right now, we are not at the goal yet. As I predicted, people have been going in there who pledged in September, and they're lowering their bigger pledges that they put in September. But we're close. We're actually close to hitting the goal. So within the next 8 days, you know, we get some people pledging for as little as $1. You know, you can get cool perks. Personal perks. It's not just about the goal level. You also get personal things like text and verbal shout-out thank yous, getting your questions answered on my Q&A show, getting t-shirts or autographed merchandise, a private Q&A video, actually participating in an upcoming multiplayer event the week of Thanksgiving, or a holiday special at the end of the year. All really cool perks that are just for you. You know, it's not just the goal level, okay? But if we can get some people in there pledging by the end of the month, we'll hit that goal, and I'll be doing that, all right? I certainly would love to do it, but, you know, we got to hit that goal level, so. All right, so just throwing that out there. 8 days left to pledge. Patreon.com/darksidephil. Thank you to those of you who are pledges already. I appreciate that. And, you know, not only does it help me to keep doing this full-time, but it also allows me to improve my content and do lots of fun stuff. Okay? All right, everyone. So that is it. It's time to end the stream, or the pre-stream, excuse me, and begin with our Assassin's Creed Syndicate gameplay. Again, this will be all weekend, so don't fret if you can't be here for this entire stream. It will continue all weekend long, my coverage of the game. I hope you enjoy it. Hopefully it's a lot better than Unity. Please let it run better than Unity. Oh my god, please let it run better than Unity. Please let it run better than Unity. Alright. Thank you, everyone. Let's get started.